Have you ever stopped and wondered who actually wants you to be financially free? Governments love to talk about stability, growth, opportunity, but if you look a little closer at history, a very different picture appears. Because the truth is simple. The same financial game has been played for centuries, only the names change. The goal never does. Move wealth upward and keep the majority dependent. Let's start with the oldest trick of all, inflation. When a government spends more than it earns, it has two choices: raise taxes openly or quietly reduce the value of money. Guess which one is easier? Ancient Rome mastered this. Coins that were once nearly pure silver slowly turned into copper dot, covered with a thin layer of silver on the outside. Nothing changed on the surface, but in reality, everyone became poorer, savings lost value, wages couldn't keep up, no announcement, no warning, just a silent tax. The Middle Ages brought a different version of the same game. Kings demanded loans from merchants, voluntary, not really refuse, and you risk fines, confiscation, worse. They called it duty, but in reality, it was forced wealth transfer. Then the system evolved. In 1694, England created a central banking system. Wealthy investors lent money to the government and received guaranteed interest. Sounds fair until you ask one question. Who paid that interest? Ordinary people, through taxes on everyday goods. So the system looked like this. The wealthy lend righto earns safe returns. The public pays right arrow through consumption. And that pattern still exists today. Fast forward to the modern world. The game just got more sophisticated. Governments run massive debts, calling it investment. But who benefits first? Large corporations, defense contractors, financial institutions, and who carries the burden? You. Think about the 2008 financial crisis. Banks took reckless risks and nearly collapsed the system. What happened next? They got bailed out. So the formula became clear. Profits are private, losses are public, and it was all sold as saving the economy. Then there's the illusion of retirement systems. You pay in for decades, believing your future is secure. But in many cases, that money isn't saved, it's already spent. What's left is a promise that future taxpayers will cover the bill. It works until it doesn't, and when it breaks, benefits shrink, retirement ages rise, or inflation erodes the value. Different method, same outcome. Notice the pattern. Everything is about perception. Inflation is called growth. Debt is called investment. Bailouts are called stability. But behind the curtain, one thing is happening. Wealth is being transferred. In recent years, the system has become even less visible. Money can now be created at the push of a button. Trillions entered the system. What happened next? Stocks surged. Real estate exploded. But who owns most of those assets? The wealthy. For everyone else, living costs went up. Once again, the system was saved. Just not for everyone. Then there's the most subtle trick of all. Stealth taxation. When prices rise faster than wages, you're losing wealth, even if it doesn't feel like it, because the numbers on paper are bigger. This isn't a flaw, it's the design. So why don't most people see it? Because the system is complex. Tax codes are thousands of pages long. Financial instruments are nearly impossible to understand. Complexity becomes camouflage. If you can't see it, you can't question it, and history is clear. These patterns never disappear, they just evolve. Rome had it, The Middle Ages had it. We have it now. The only real difference is this. Do you recognize it? Because most people don't. And that might be the most powerful trick of all. If you don't know the game is being played, you can't protect yourself. That's why financial knowledge matters, because the more you understand, the harder you are to manipulate. So what should you do? Question the narrative. Look beyond the headlines. Ask who benefits first. And never assume the system is built for you. Just because it says it is, history doesn't repeat exactly, but if you don't understand it, you'll live through the same outcomes. And maybe the most important question is, will you recognize the game before it's too late?